Vasco has asked if he can speak with us, and this seems like as good as time as any here at the campfire, so let's talk to Vasco and see what's going on.
I'd like to know more about my family. I need to know what became of them. Could you accompany me to see Lady Morange? I'm afraid that without you, she may refuse to give me any information.
Might seem a little silly, but I was not expecting that to be the case, him asking us to get an audience for him to talk to someone. I'm actually not sure where this person is. We are in the Silver District. At Lady Morange. Oh, it's this lady. She greeted us when we got off the boat. Why does everyone have like a small army of glasses here when you walk in? Like they're about to have a giant party. They're like, we need 150 cups filled to the brim immediately. And look, they have this whole tea set ready to go as well. Love that. Okay, let's talk to the lady here and see. Well, let's see if we can rob the place first. I mean, are we even a colonial power if we don't loot? Isn't there a looting law? Wow, she doesn't make her bed. Great. Okay, well, let's talk to the slob. My goodness. She's going to be like, I had to let the servants go or something. Okay, lady, what's going on here with Vasco's family?
Good day, Lady Morange. Do you remember me?
Of course. Sur de Sardais, isn't it? I hope that you and your cousin have grown to like it here. But I have little reason to believe you have paid me a visit to exchange civilities. Can I be of service?
What can you tell me about New Serene?
It's a new city whose construction began not long ago. When I arrived 5 years ago, there was just a port, a fence, and some huts here. The businesses, the barracks of the guard, the palace, and all of the houses sort of sprung up from the ground. To see how impressive it is today, even if it is still far from its majestic mother, is incredible. Of course, with such expanse, all kinds of bandits, drunkards, and other lowlife have arrived. But I'm very proud of it, in spite of everything. I hope that your cousin continues this work.
What do you know about this island?
Much less than I would like. The land is still wild and extremely rich. Its soils are full of minerals, some of which are unknown to us. With regard to the flora and fauna, you've probably seen how different the creatures and plants are here. The islanders protect their land fiercely, and we cannot begrudge them that. When you see what we have done with our own, well, such a source of richness attracts greed.
You seem interested in the islanders.
As a matter of fact, I find their culture fascinating, but I can't say I know much about them. They are quite secretive and protect their cult and traditions from the curiosity of strangers. I know that their sages, they call them Donegada, are the guardians of their rituals as well as of the island. They have very strong links with nature and the creatures that inhabit it. They're also good healers. I could talk about them for hours, but you will learn more from the islanders themselves.
What can you tell me about the relations we have with other nations?
We play a difficult role, caught between these two enemy nations who are nonetheless our allies. The smallest action could tip the balance and draw us into their conflict. If I may offer some advice, be very careful. We do not want a war to break out here.
We would like to have some information regarding an important family, the Darcys.
Well, I could tell you many things about them, but I suppose that you want to know something in particular?
Are there any members of this family on the island?
Indeed, Bastien Darcy, the son of the family, has been in New Serene for some time. Last I heard about it, he was doing business, but that doesn't help in knowing where he is. The Darcys' first attempt at establishing themselves on this island wasn't very fruitful, but I seem to recall that since then the son has found a competent associate who's been working here for a long time.
Perfect. Could you tell us where to find her?
Of course. Ask for a Madame Clerc near the warehouses on the port. That's where she normally is. I hope the Darcys are not in trouble.
Don't worry, madam. Their name was simply mentioned in some business discussions. We are thinking about becoming associates. We would like to know more about them to form an opinion.
If you ask me, you should forget this idea, Your Excellency. Their son is a poor business partner.
Why do you say that?
I do not mean to speak ill of him. Perhaps it would be better for you to form your own opinion.
Well, thank you for your help, madam.
That was an illuminating conversation. Let's see. She thinks very highly of the natives. She thinks this land is a land of wonder and opportunity. She recognizes the political tension between the magic science faction, and the religious magician faction. I am fairly confident I looted all of these chests more than once. I think they respawn. I really do. Looks like they are in this house here maybe, or just around the corner. And she recognizes that as the merchant republic that we are, we absolutely do not want a war. But I think it's probably too late for that. I think there's things in motion that we just don't know about yet.
Can I help you? Are you here to do business?
Are you Madam Clerk?
We would like to meet with your associate, Mr. Darcy.
Bastian? I don't know where he is. I can't say that he often graces us with his presence.
You don't have the slightest idea where he is?
I am not his caretaker, you know.
You don't seem to hold him in high regard.
Listen, my relationship with my associate is no one else's concern. And if you didn't come to do business, well...
We must find him. This man you can see by my side is his brother.
Do not insult my intelligence. I know that the Darcys only have one son, alas.
You can see the Naught tattoos on his face, can't you? And a merchant like you must surely know about the Naught's recruiting process.
So it is true. The Darcys gave away one of their children. I find it hard to believe. He was supposed to go to Hikmet to deal with one of our clients, but I didn't receive any news from him after his departure. And given his tendency to get himself into impossible situations, I didn't try to get any.
Who is this client?
His name is Vadd. You'll find him in the Alchemist District. I'll write this down.
You think something may have happened to him there?
His mission wasn't very complicated. He had to pay for a valuable shipment and take charge of it. But with Bastian, anything is possible.
Thank you, madam.
I like how she says it shouldn't have been very difficult. We're here in New Serene, right? The city of the merchant congregation where we're from. And it's all the way back at the city of the science guys. It is crossing from one major city to another in a brand new land. But arguably, this might be one of the safest go-betweens there might be. Straight ahead of us is the governor's palace for the science dudes. We're going to make our way over to a new section of the city here. See how it changes, how it feels. It definitely has a feeling of older. That it's not nearly as... Oh. Can we climb this wall? No, we need that science. Okay. It definitely feels older. Lockpicking level 3. Wow. This green door here. Moment of truth.
If you come to do business, you should go upstairs. I am but a poor underling.
I don't believe you, but okay. Let's see what this guy's got going on.
Hello, sir. Is this the house of the man called Vadd?
It is I. What can I do for you?
We're searching for Mr. Darcy. He was supposed to come here to do business.
Yes. Yes, he did come here, but I don't know where he is. To be honest, our exchange did not exactly go as planned. And if you are his associate, or a member of his family, know that you owe me a large sum of money.
How so?
Well, this Darcy fellow came here to take the shipment, and he was supposed to deliver me a promissory note.
Which never arrived, I imagine. How could you let him leave with your merchandise without payment?
Well, he's the son of a very well-known family. I did not deem it necessary to try and obtain more guarantees.
What if something happened to him?
Nothing happened. At least I don't think so. Why should that concern me? I'm not his brother. He owes me money, and I do not have the slightest idea of where he might be.
I suspect that you're not telling us everything.
Oh, come on. If you have not come to repay his debt, leave me alone so I can work in peace.
I'm not sure, Vasco, you want to be connected with these people. They are getting themselves into trouble on top of trouble, it would seem.
Greetings. If you have come to do business, head upstairs, if there's any business left to do.
Why do you say that?
They haven't been paying me, and I've had to work with cheap ingredients for weeks.
What do you do here exactly?
I create and prepare complex potions. Not simple health potions, but far more subtle things.
And if I'm not mistaken, things are not going the way you would want them to.
The boss has always been difficult, but ever since he got ripped off, it has been a living hell. I work using leftovers thrown away by all the other alchemists, while listening to him screaming at me and everyone else all day. This is no way to live.
Have you heard of a man called Bastian Darcy?
It would be difficult not to. His name is the only thing my boss talks about. Apparently, he did not pay for one of our shipments and still left with the goods. And now my boss makes me work twice as much to compensate for his losses. With ingredients I wouldn't even feed to a pig.
And what did your boss do?
Well, he spent every waking hour cursing his name. That's how I learned about it.
We've got the big 3 out of 3 points in charisma. Let's see if we can make it happen here.
How can a brilliant, conscientious alchemist keep working here? I am certain that any great laboratory in town would welcome you with open arms. So why continue protecting your employer?
Oh, you're right. Anywhere is better than here. My boss did not only curse the name of the man you're looking for, he also hired some thugs to find him and our shipment.
Interesting. I think we may need to have a few words with your employer.
If you could also tell him that I am resigning, then I won't need to go upstairs.
Do we actually go upstairs? All right. Vasco, I don't think we should be involved with this at all, man.
You again. I already told you that I do not know where the man you're searching for is.
You may not know where he is, but you did everything you could to find him, didn't you?
What do you mean?
Does this document ring a bell? You hired some debt collectors to find Mr. Darcy.
How dare you rummage through my belongings?
You could have taken legal action and retrieved what you were owed, but you sent some killers instead.
I doubt the governor would approve. Do you want us to tell him about it?
No. But please understand me. The Darcy family is on the continent. It would take months for them to reply to my complaint. What other solution was there? My shop will not survive this.
Tell us who these debt collectors are and we'll take care of it.
They loiter in an alleyway of ill repute, not far from here, in the Science District.
That's what I feared. Probably a bunch of cutthroats. If Bastian survives...
If he survives, remind him of what he owes me.
Okay, all of a sudden we're a debt collector. Vasco, hey, can you help me find my long-lost family? Sure, no problem. We check in with some of the local nobility, and they tell us, hey, you probably don't want to be involved with those guys. They're kind of trouble. Next thing you know, well, we're involved, and we're in trouble. What a tricky situation to be in, that you decide to work with someone who then, you know, you need to kind of hunt them down, and they are months away by boat, right? They're like, well, it takes 6 months to send a letter, and like my business will go under by then. Like, he needs to pay me back for the work I've been doing, or the supplies I bought, or whatever it was. Right on the other side of this wall, it would seem.
Have mercy! Have mercy!
Uh-oh.
We pay everything, I swear.
Here we go.
Hey, you! Leave this man alone!
What do you want? No one asked you for your opinion, so get lost.
Maybe he's friends with the weakling.
Maybe.
They're all wearing a
In any
uniform.
case,
Wow,
it
these are
seems
some
like he
organized
wants
debt
to
collectors.
share his fate.
You think I'm afraid? I fought uglier people than you.
Vasco, let me try to take care of this. How much money are we talking about? You're here to collect a debt, right?
Between what he owes our client and our commission, it's a hefty sum. But if you want to pay in his stead, my lord, please do.
I don't think you realize who you are dealing with, so let me introduce myself. My name is de Sardet. I am the legate of the congregation, and I am here to save the life of one of our citizens. If you do not deliver him to me immediately, I will have no choice but to inform the governor.
And you'll end up rotting in jail in no time.
Damn it, they look serious.
Yes, a bit too much. Listen, we don't want to get in trouble with the governor, so take him.
Yeah, if our client wants to get repaid, you'll have to make an official request. Come.
Thank you for your intervention. I thought these brutes would kill me.
Don't mention it. It's only natural.
But how did you end up in such a situation?
Oh, I'm certain someone like you, who belongs to high society, will understand. There is a game table here that is attended by the best of the aristocracy. I lost the money I owed to that merchant while playing there. And since I got out with a few other debts, I had to leave the merchandise as repayment as well. But that's a mere trifle that my father would have paid for without thinking twice. I never would have thought that someone would send these types of brutes after me. What a lack of tact. In any case, I am extremely grateful to you. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Captain Vasco. Naught and sea given. It was a pleasure, sir.
That's it? That's where it ends? Vasco?
You wish you were never given to the Nords.
How could I not be regretful? I never got to experience a mother's love or a lavish youth.
Don't you have any happy memories?
I do, of course I do. For example, I remember the first time I climbed up the shrouds. The incredible view, the dizziness, the sensation of complete freedom. It was an unforgettable moment.
I can only imagine how you felt. But it sounds amazing.
It was. I wouldn't trade that memory for all the gold in the world. Thank you, de Sardet. You've given me a lot to think about.
So after that conversation, we got a +2 reputation with Vasco. Not sure if that's the end of it. Maybe we need to find him somewhere with the alchemist?
Thank you, de Sardet.
My pleasure. But why didn't you tell him who you were?
But I did tell him. I was stupid. I resented everyone, and you even more, for the life I didn't get to live. You had it all, everything I thought I was entitled to. But after seeing Bastian, I realized that in the end, I was exactly who I wanted to be. A naught, and a proud one at that.
I'm glad to hear it. No more regrets?
No more regrets. And I certainly don't regret not being called Leandra Darcy.
Okay, +4 reputation with Vasco, which moves us into the friendly territory. See if there's any new dialogue.
What did you think of your brother? Meeting him in such circumstances must have been upsetting.
I had high expectations for this encounter. I was naively hoping for some emotional reunion, and I found myself in front of a conceited and selfish idiot. Need I say more?
Not all brothers are alike, especially when they've led such different lives.
Indeed. At least this regrettable adventure allowed me to find out who I am. Thank you for your help. You were very patient with me.
I don't feel like that's the end of Vasco's journey. I feel like meeting the brother just there maybe is... What's up, guy?
I immediately spotted that you are a real science enthusiast. I have all the potions you could ever dream of.
He sells 8 sleeping potions. They do say they're quest items. We'll buy all 8. I don't know when we'll need them, as it's pretty expensive, but we've got them. The alchemist here sells the guns. Okay, we've yet to find a decent gun shop. So we apparently actually have a residency here.
Greetings.
The green door, maybe? Yep, there's our symbol. I think that's the symbol of our faction, as we are a diplomat, apparently. Kurt also on the top. Before we talk to Kurt, though, I really do think that Vasco... I don't think Vasco's story is done. I think now that we've found the brother and the family, there's going to be more to it. Let's talk to Kurt.
Greenblood, tell me, do you remember that young recruit I spoke to you about? I would still like to present him to you. So then, would you like to accompany me to meet him?
Kurt has a recruit that he thinks is worth looking in on, so we're going to go check in on his recruit friend here, see how it goes. Not exactly sure what Kurt's plan here is. That's right, we don't have the vigor for this yet. You just wait, we're going to be so vigorous, we're going to do all that walking across plank stuff. Yeah, we've definitely looted some of these boxes before. To be clear, every time we loot them, it's like a couple of coins, a couple of bullets, and sometimes a crafting material, which is totally worth it. As I think the bullets are pretty hard to come by once you start shooting them. And so grabbing a few free ones, awesome.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you? I've been looking for one of my recruits. Goes by the name of Rayner. I would like for His Excellency to meet him.
Rayner? I'm sorry, Kurt. I thought you'd been informed.
Informed about what?
He is dead. He was found, drowned in the port harbour day before yesterday. I was told he had too much to drink and fell in. I'm extremely sorry, Kurt. The young men drink more than they can handle when they're on leave.
That's bollocks. That lad isn't the sort to sully himself with drink. I don't believe it.
People change. When they're far from home, the lads have little else to do.
I still don't believe it.
Listen, you might as well go and ask the doctor down in the morgue. I might have misunderstood what was reported to me. Those doctors use such long words for simple things.
Excellent idea. At least now you'll see it for yourself.
You're right. Let's go.
Feels like every time we talk to these guys, we regret it. They're like, oh, who you're looking for is totally dead. Wait, what? Oh, who you're looking for, we threw them in jail and then stole their stuff and then threw them in a fight pit. Wait, what?
Can I help you with something?
Here we go.
Whatever is a doctor of the Bridge Alliance doing in the barracks of the New Serene Coin Guard?
I was posted here from the University of Al-Sad, as per their agreement with the Guard.
Agreement? What sort of agreement?
The Guard requested dedicated doctors for the care of their troops. The university accepted under 2 conditions: that the doctors practice only in the territories of the Bridge or her allies, and that we have the privilege of examining all of their corpses, in the interest of anatomical study. These requests were made official thanks to the Agreement Charter, and I must say we have been able to increase our knowledge of anatomy immensely. Anything else?
We are here concerning the matter of Recruit Rayner.
Are you family or friends?
You could say that. I'm the one who recruited the lad.
I see. Well, what I can do is tell you what I can.
When was the body brought to you?
Day before yesterday, in the early morning.
Can you tell me anything about the circumstances?
All I know is what I was told by the fellows who brought the body to me. They said they'd spent the evening together at the tavern, that they'd had a great deal to drink. A horrid habit the soldiers all seemed to share.
Rayner was not a drinker.
Maybe not. All the same, he was drinking that night. He stepped outside for a moment and never came back in. His companions found him drowned in the bay early morn, and they brought him to me.
How then did he die, in your opinion?
He drowned. I'm sorry. It's regrettable. He was quite a young man.
Yeah, and his death makes no sense. He didn't drink, and he knew how to swim.
All the same, that's what happened. I greatly regret it.
Might we take a look at the body?
No, I wouldn't recommend that.
Why not?
To see your friend in such a state.
I'm a soldier, Doc. I've seen a number of men in pieces. Let me see the young lad.
I regret, Captain, I cannot allow that.
I have as of yet to present myself. I'm Sir Desardet, legate of the Congregation of Merchants on Tir Fredi. And as the title infers, I have the power to inspect this barracks and all that it contains. Therefore, I must insist.
I see. 1,000 pardons, Excellency. I should have recognized you and shown more respect. It's the body in the middle. Examine him if you must, but please be so kind as to not leave a mess after you.
The amount of times that we have to use our title as like, hey, we are the second highest level of power in these lands. You quite literally work for you, and I own you, you serf, right? Is astounding. I mean, these people are pushy. He drowned in full armor? He jumped in the water in full armor. Really? Really, guys?
Kurt, is this your recruit?
Yes, that's my Rainer. Poor kid. I should have left him with his family where he was.
If you want to learn more, we'll need to examine the body.
Go on.
I'm no doctor, but this boy doesn't seem to have drowned at all. It looks like he's been beaten. It's suspicious.
The boy I knew would never have drunk himself senseless to the point he'd fall into the bay, I'm telling you.
I believe you, Kurt. But if we want to prove it, we'll need to find more evidence.
Notes. Young man has several hematomas on the entirety of his body's surface, some more recent. Broken arms, cuts on his hands, broken ribs, skull has been bashed in. Now, if anything, some of these sound like defensive wounds when it's like, hey, his forearms, right in between your elbow and your hand, that is all busted up. That's an unusual bone to break.
Excuse me, Doctor, but you owe us a few explanations. This boy did not die by drowning.
It is absolutely the cause of death, I assure you. The science of death is a complex art, and you are certainly not a doctor.
Your literal notes highlight that he did not drown. You are an imbecile.
That is true, but you are. Do you recognize your own notes? Your writing is hard to read, but the word drowning never appears.
What an idiot. I should have burned those notes. I am truly sorry. I swear I have never, ever falsified a report before.
Ha.
I was given no choice in the matter.
How's that? What are you talking about?
2 men, lieutenants, I believe, brought a body to me telling me the boy had drowned in an accident. I saw immediately this was a lie, but I did not push the matter. I began my examination, planning to submit my report to the quartermaster as per usual, but the men returned. I was told to forget what I'd discovered and say that he had indeed drowned, or else.
Who were they?
I have no idea. I had never seen them before at the barracks. I guessed their rank by their uniforms.
What colours were they sporting?
None. They must have removed the emblems of their regiment. Listen, it's obvious that this boy was beaten repetitively, and that was the cause of death. I have no intention of suffering the same fate.
Have no fear, Doctor. We will make no mention of your name.
Andevars Tire. That means, may the earth welcome him. I am sorry for you, Kurt.
Thank you, Siora.
Well, these two have a lot going on. When we're walking around, they get some serious banter going back and forth. This poor quartermaster, Manfred.
Rainer didn't drown. The doctor falsified his report. He was threatened and feared for his own life.
You have to be pulling me leg. Who bullied the crowface?
Lieutenants that he didn't recognize, alas, and who wore no regiment emblems.
Which regiment was Rainer assigned to? I would like to have a word with his commanding officer.
Let me have a look at the register. My memory isn't what it once was. Stab my heart with a rusty blade. His name's been crossed out. Oh, if I catch the bastard that did that.
What mess was the boy into, Manfred? What could this be about?
Your lad was in the 6th or maybe the 11th, before being reassigned to who knows where.
Just like that? You out of everyone have to know where the recruits are assigned.
Not of late. This isn't the first lad who's been reassigned all of a sudden at the drop of a hat. Each time I start complaining about it, I'm told they've changed regiments, and it's not my concern.
Something truly bizarre is going on here. I don't like this at all.
Let's try and discover which company he was stationed at before this mysterious reassignment.
I need to get to the bottom of this mystery, Greenblood. I don't like being taken for a fool. Even if the lieutenants weren't stationed at these barracks, someone here must know where Rainer was assigned.
We should also go and check the tavern. Men on leave will perhaps have looser lips than those within the walls. Good day, soldier.
Good day, my lord.
Desardet. Legate of the congregation on Tier D.
Captain Kurt.
Oh, excuse me, Excellency. I didn't know. Captain, I truly am sorry. At your service, my lord. Excellency.
You don't quite look like you've got the hang of all this. How long have you been in?
Is it that obvious?
It's quite normal for a new recruit.
I joined up 4 months ago. But at the beginning, we were on board ship, you see. I don't know if that really counts. I started exercises when we got to New Serene, but I'm making progress, they say.
And do you like it here?
I sure do. That's why I joined the Guard. To come here, to leave the continent. Know what I mean?
I do.
Anything else?
Since you know who we are, present yourself, soldier.
Yes, sir. Recruit 2nd Class Alric, Blue Silver Regiment, 11th Company. At your service.
You seem tired and a little on edge. A drink would do you some good.
It's just that I don't know if I'm allowed.
You're on leave, or you wouldn't be at the tavern. And why not?
Yes, but this is His Excellency's own bottle. I don't know if I can.
Drink, I tell you.
Now then, why don't you tell us what you know about Raynor?
Oh, I didn't serve with him. Well, not really. We just crossed paths. He was leaving the 11th when I joined. Everyone said he was good, strong, and, followed orders. And then, poof. Lieutenant got this order, and he wasn't happy. And I mean really quite unhappy. And then Raynor, he was gone. We never saw him again. We asked where he'd been sent, but the lieutenant didn't want to tell us. Said that it was none of our business. But you, he won't be able to say no to you. You should go and offer him a drink too.
Where can we find your lieutenant?
At the barracks.
Thank you. And watch yourself when leaving. Wouldn't want you to fall into the bay. That will be all, soldier. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
We need to go find the 11th Regiment, Lieutenant. They are a direct connection between the dead recruit and their murderer.
Hello, officer.
Excellency, can I do something for you?
Could you tell me which company you serve?
The 11th, Excellency. Anything else?
What's your assignment?
The 11th is assigned to road and outpost security for the congregation on the island. As for me, I'm responsible for the training of recruits and the patrol duty roster. Anything else?
Pretty far away from the water, it sounds like.
We are concerned about the death of a young recruit named Raynor.
Let's be perfectly straight. We know that Raynor belonged to your company. And as the acting lieutenant instructor, you certainly had him under your command. So just stop with the lies. We've lost enough time here.
You know what they say? Guard business is well guarded.
And concerns only the guard. Now, unless you've lost your eyesight, you've a captain in front of you.
I know. But this story is dangerous, Captain.
If you have so much as an ounce of respect for the boy, speak to us. Don't you believe he deserves justice?
Yes. Of course. Raynor was indeed a member of my company. And an excellent recruit. But you already know that.
Continue.
One morning, I got a note telling me he'd been transferred from my company. He'd received a new assignment. I was so furious that I did my own little investigation to see where he'd been sent. It wasn't easy. No one wanted to give me answers. No one seemed to know anything. But one thing's for certain. Raynor wasn't the only man to have disappeared. I learned that a good many recruits, all the cream of the crop, had been reassigned. And finally, I learned about the existence of a phantom regiment.
What sort of nonsense are you talking about?
A sort of secret, elite company that were following a special training program.
Where can we find them?
I've no idea. I had to put my investigation to rest. Things were getting dangerous. I began to sense I was being watched. This regiment protects its secrets at all costs with few scruples. If you want to know more, the training officer of the 6th might know something. It's been said that he took part in one of their missions. Alongside them.
Are you certain you've nothing more to tell me about this infamous secret regiment?
I've told you everything I know, at the risk of ending up like Raynor, Excellency. Go and see the officer of the 6th if you want to learn more. And leave me alone now. Anything else?
I feel like he knows more.
Are you certain you've nothing more to tell me about this infamous secret regiment?
I've told you everything I know, at the risk of ending up like Raynor, Excellency. Go and see the officer of the 6th if you want to learn more. And leave me alone now.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Guess who has information about this ghost regiment? All right, we'll go upstairs to the officer's quarters. I don't see this ending without a bit of a scuffle. Hopefully there won't be too much blood before this is over, but Somebody's got to pay. I don't feel like Kurt's up for much more talking.
Good day, Lieutenant.
Excellency, what's your pleasure?
What company do you serve?
The 6th, Excellency. Anything else?
To where are you assigned?
The 6th Company is in charge of exploration and expansion of the colony of the Congregation of Merchants on the island. We operate mainly in the wilderness areas, in direct contact with the natives. But don't worry, we respect to the letter Congregation directives and standing orders. We avoid all confrontation with them as much as possible.
Tell me about the Phantom Regiment.
About what? I have no idea what you're talking about, Your Excellency.
Come now, Lieutenant. You do realize that the activities of this regiment are particularly suspicious. Secrets, threats, fabrications, and maybe even an assassination. This resembles more the pursuits of a criminal organization than the Honorable Coin Guard. Am I to conclude that you are involved?
No. No. I assure you that isn't the case.
So then tell me what you know about the regiment.
I've seen the regiment. Even fought beside them on an operation. On that occasion, our marching orders were kept secret until the last minute. We were asked to remove our regiment emblems, and our pay wasn't even recorded. And of course, we were ordered to speak to no one about it under any circumstances. I hope you realize the risk I'm taking, talking to you about all this.
Have no fear. We understand. What was this operation?
An attack. A lightning strike on a caravan from the Bridge Alliance.
Marvelous. A company that behaves like back-alley bandits.
I know. It really shakes up the honor code. The regiment is made up of young recruits, carefully chosen. Only the best make it through. The training is extremely arduous. And my guess is that Raynor isn't the only one who's died from it. I know that they set up camp just outside the city, where the men live and train. But I'd be at a loss to tell you precisely where it's found. Sorry, Captain.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
This story is making me sick. Poor Raynor. If I'd have known, I'd never have recruited him.
I'm sorry, Kurt.
This isn't your doing. But these filthy phantoms, or whatever they are gonna have to settle the debt. Believe me.
You do realize that your own commander is certainly involved in this on some level. Outright clandestine operations could not have taken place without his approval.
That he's aware of the existence of the regiment, there is no doubt. That he approves of what they're doing. It wouldn't be the first head that didn't know what his hands were up to.
What do you wish to do now?
I'm gonna find the location of this camp. I have a few friends that can certainly help us. And when I know where to smoke out these bastards, I'll go and have a few fiery words. If you were of a mind to accompany me, 2 of us would not be too many to make sure they settle their debts.
Let me know when you discover where they are to be found.
That's where things end. We got a little pop-up that said, hey, progress further through the main story to get more answers. Looks like Vasco has something he wants to tell us about while Kurt's doing a little research.
Glad to see you, my friend. I intend to prove to the Admiral that I fully identify as a Naut once more. Without regrets, I will have to go through a test of loyalty. It will certainly be dangerous, but with your help, I am convinced that I will succeed.
This is the Admiral who sent Vasco to go with us for some reason, no good reason that we know of. Let's confront them about the situation here.
Good day, my lord.
Desardet. I'm the emissary of the congregation on Tier
And cousin to the governor. I know exactly who you are. Enchanted. I am Admiral Cabral, and I see that you're accompanied by one of our own. Hardy wins, Vasco.
Hardy wins, Admiral.
You are still angry with me for keeping you ashore, are you not? You'll one day thank me for it, but I don't suppose you've come to talk to me about affectations. What can I do for you? Captain Vasco, I'm glad to see you again. Did you profit from your time on land?
I did, Admiral. That's why I've come to see you.
You want me to entrust you with a loyalty mission?
Indeed.
Very well. A short time ago, we lost one of our ships near the island. The reputation of the Norts suffered from it.
I have heard about it. An incomprehensible sinking which fueled numerous rumors.
We cannot let the land dwellers think we are losing the sea. So I need someone to investigate and restore our reputation.
At your orders, Admiral, and with pleasure.
The shipwreck is stranded on the shore, southwest of the island, not far from Xavier.
Thank you, Admiral.
I'm counting on you.
This is going to be an absolute, I don't want to say nightmare, but not an easy task.
Come closer, good people.
It's interesting that they have this system in place. This loyalty test, this, are you really one of us? This must be not an uncommon thing. Maybe it's not common.
Hello, Your Excellency.
But maybe it's also not uncommon, right? This might be something that they do. Can we jump this? No. Might be something to do with some level of regularness, because she knew. She knew exactly what he'd been up to, looking into. And she was immediately like, hey, you want a loyalty test, don't you? Well, not really, but yes. If that's what we've got to do, that's what we've got to do. I have no idea what time of day it is that the sun is turning red, but I hope it's not the apocalypse. Okay, this is a dead end. Where are we going, guys? Just 40 meters that way, sure. We are here in the Singing Waters region. New section of the map we've never been. Well, those are bandits. Oh, and a fox. Hey, gotcha. What do we got? They dropped nothing. Okay. You go find the wreckage and beat these boys up. Oh. I was not ready for that at all. Whoa, boy. Trying to keep them unbalanced, but... Is she trying to heal? No. Hopefully they drop better gear. Oh boy. Gotcha. Switch weapon here. Oh my goodness. Oh, he shot his friend. Sure weapon. Hopefully it's not permadeath. Mercy. Well. That was unexpected. Please be good loot. 4 gold coins. 2 gold coins. Yep, trash loot. Well, we made 10 gold for that and some XP. I was really hoping they would drop some better items, like some upgraded gear, since they were maybe 1 magic potion. Who knows what that does? Maybe the toughest enemies we've fought. We were out here in the middle of nowhere, found a bunch of shipwrecks, and a spooky cave just around the corner. We are as far from civilization as we've ever been. And I'm starting to think there's some kind of monster in this cave. Something that's getting ships wrecked. There's this huge pile of rocks kind of positioned in a way that make you think that, like, passage leading to the shore. Yeah, that makes you think that this is a known place to the natives, the villagers. You know, the locals, they know what's in here and they're trying to keep us away, probably for good reason. It's my best guess. Because this place is kind of spooky. Does anything fancy? Just some crude iron. Oh no! You've been ambushed. We must be getting close to the water, because we're in this creepy cave here coming out.
Look, there it is.
Investigate the wreckage.
Like this.
Yeah, I don't think boats should be on their side like this. We're here in the wreckage. I wonder if one of those plant monsters broke their way out. They're trying to get transported again. That, like, big... That thing. That thing doesn't belong here.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go.
Whoa. Hold on.
Let's see if you can ward off this fate.
Let's try and take off the shields first if we can. Well, this is kind of tricky. Excuse us, sir. Come on out and play. You can do it. No more armor. Whoa, boy. Excuse me, sir. Whoa, boy.
Let's see if you can ward off this.
Get knocked down for no reason, huh? It's a little tough to tell, but I'm actually parrying some of these attacks and getting healed by my teammate. I think we've got it now. Oh boy.
Corpses are chained up. These beasts were captive. But they have died during the sinking.
I have the feeling that the enormous creature we fought is responsible for this.
Okay, a beach guardian, sure. There was a glowing orange notepad behind little homie back here. Here we go. Journal of the captain. We finally managed to get the creature entrusted to us on board after giving them the potion provided by the alchemist. The largest one is terrifying even when asleep. I asked for it to be chained and put in a cage. Tonight we sailed. The weather is mild. The crew is complaining about the presence of these creatures. The largest one started moving despite the sleeping potion we gave it. The largest beast has woken up. It is screaming in rage. We will never make it to the continent in these conditions. We're heading back to the island. Let's hope the cage will hold until then. The beast is moving so much we're having trouble sailing. We can see the coast. I hope we'll make it there in time before... ... Yeah. Yeah, not the first time these beasts have been trying to get captured and sent to the mainland. We need to find who's providing the sleeping potions.
It looks like an enormous cage.
Who's making the cage?
Is this ringing any bells for anyone else?
We need to find who's making the cages.
The hull was torn apart. And given the way that the wood is broken, it came from the inside. This ship was apparently carrying creatures from the island. The largest one managed to escape and made a hole in the hull as it tried to run away, just like in Serene. The sailors didn't stand a chance. All the clues seem to corroborate the captain's journal. This is the same thing that happened at the harbor in Serene. The Guardian who was locked up on the boat freed itself and ripped apart the hull of the boat to get out.
Yes, and my brothers had no means of saving their lives or the ship, alas. Let's go back and explain this to the Admiral.
I like how the monsters are called Guardians. Beach Guardian, right? I wonder if the further they get from the island, the more they start to get agitated, since they're labeled as Guardians. Let's get back to the Admiral and let him know what we found out. Hopefully the Admiral's going to have a little peace of mind knowing where the ship is and the crew. Even if it's not necessarily the happiest news, it is a conclusion.
I'm listening.
We examined the shipwreck and the surrounding area. A creature they carried on board managed to set itself free. An enormous beast. It made a hole in the hull and caused the sinking. We could only find dead bodies.
Alas, I was expecting it. May the sea be their shroud. We shall not forget them. Did you find anything?
The captain's journal tells the tale of the ship from their departure to the sinking.
Thank you, Vasco. It seems that the potions of the Alliance failed us once more. And rest assured, we will never transport another one of those creatures. They are too dangerous for our ships. Our honor is safe, thanks to you. You have proven your loyalty, and you have regained my trust. What you have achieved for us all deserves to be a part of your history, Vasco. I will send someone to tell the tattooist. He'll be waiting for you.
So this is the first we've learned that the Sea People tattoos are distinctive to their accomplishments. They're telling a story. We might have assumed as much, but this is the first time we've definitively got an answer that these are important to honor their deeds.
I have come to receive my tattoo. The Admiral should have informed you.
Indeed, Captain. Congratulations.
What do you think about it? I feel more naught than ever.
Great. Congratulations, Vasco.
Gives us +3, +5 reputation with Vasco. So we can actually see our relationship level with Vasco there on the bottom left is officially friendly. And it shows there with Vasco on the bottom left, friendship bonus intuition. So we get a bonus to our intuition once we become friends with Vasco.
Glad to see you, my friend.
Now that the Admiral has forgiven you, do you intend to set sail again?
Without a doubt, but do not worry. I will not leave you before I find out where our story leads.
I would understand if you preferred to leave, but I would miss you. That's a certainty.
I will miss you too. But we're not saying goodbye yet, are we?
But we're not saying goodbye yet. I wonder if they'll let us get any tattoos. Cannot talk to this guy at all. Absolutely stonewalled. All right. It's for the knots. I just noticed there's a little rat hanging out right here. Did you see it run under the deck? I don't think we can hit it, but we can try. Now, rats are safe. Better luck next time, little guy. He's one of the knots, I guess. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Well, at least we also got a confirmation it was the Bridge Alliance, the science guys who gave them the potions to try and keep these big beasts asleep. I am still a little bummed we still can't talk to this guy at all. The cabin boy we saved. Kind of expecting there to be a little bit more to his journey once he got here, but there does not seem to be at all. Hopefully Vasco is some peace as he's been welcomed back with open arms to his Knot family, and he found his biological birth family. But I think he's found his place in the world, and there's something really special about having a place that you call home.